Okay, and then we'll get good. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Hello, everybody. There, we got it going now, which is great. You know, Zoom decided to kick us all out today.
Yeah.
But we're all back at it, so that's perfect. Well, yeah, the meeting just shut down. But problem fixed, looks like, so that's good. Quick check-in. Can everyone see me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I'm not going to get any feedback in a couple minutes saying you can't see me.
No, we can see your feet.
Okay, good. Perfect, perfect. Don't know why you'd want to, but there they are.
I know.
All right, so glad to see so many of you. This is going to be great. So Maureen already talked about putting yourselves on mute. If there's any noise at all in your background, please make sure to do that. Unmute when it's time for a question, clarification, anything like that. Make sure you have a clear space to exercise in, nothing to step on or trip over. Sturdy chair, not one on wheels. And then I highly recommend having sturdy shoes on or bare feet. So not, when I say sturdy shoes, not your slippers, not slippery socks we're going to slide around. Safety is key first, okay? So let's go over our breathing pattern because it's going to be super important today and it's a great warm-up. So I'm going to ask you to breathe in, filling up your belly as you do. So, and then breathing out through pursed lips. Again, breathing in, fill up the belly. Breathe out through pursed lips. Breathe in. And as we breathe out, you got that line of candles. Blow them all out in one steady breath. Last one, breathe in. And breathe out through pursed lips. Good. You're going to maintain that breathing pattern. So please continue that breathing pattern. We're just going to start lifting and lowering your heels. So getting your heels up and down, starting from a seated position. And we're going to quickly add on to this. So it's just, can we add a little bit of movement and still maintain your breathing pattern? So you're still breathing in, filling up your belly, and breathing out through pursed lips. Good. So keep doing that. Super, super important to help you feel less breathless, to maximize your breathing experience today, and therefore maximizes your workout. Get more out of it. So still lifting and lowering your heels. We're going to take our hands and you're just going to reach back, give yourself a little pat on the back, bring your hand back down, and then switch hands. So yes, we're congratulating yourselves for showing up today. This is also warming up the shoulder. We call that a 2-for-1.
A twofer.
A twofer. We like those when we go to the supermarket. Well, you also get it in exercise class.
It's what we used to buy as beer in Ontario. It's 2-4s.
Oh, nice. Good. So we're doing 2 tasks at once, reaching across one arm at a time, lifting and lowering your heels. Remember, do what you can today. Don't keep up to anybody. Just challenge yourself. Make sure it's challenging but doable. Now we're lifting that elbow straight up. So think about trying to touch your thumb to the back of your shoulder as best you can. Again, nothing should feel like it's straining. If it feels way too easy and you're just doing this, make sure you're driving that elbow up a little bit more. Try to get that range of motion through your shoulder as best you can. And remember, we are still maintaining that breathing pattern. So while you're moving, you got in the pattern of moving, quickly reflect back to, are you breathing in to fill up your belly? Are you breathing out through pursed lips? And are you purposefully trying to slow your breathing down slightly, especially as we start moving more and more intensely? We're not focused on it. We just get into more of that panting breathing pattern. We do want to do our best to keep breathing out through pursed lips. Now, hands on your belly. And now I'm going to ask you to step one heel out at a time. So you can keep your toes pointed up, stretch your leg out, tap your heel, and bring it back in. And with hands on your belly, elbows tucked in, we're just going to show each other how big the fish we caught was. Oh, without moving your elbows. So just open up through the shoulder. You should feel a little bit of a stretch across the chest or on the back of the shoulders. Okay, just open up the arms and then bring them back closed. Open up the arms, bring it back closed. It's important we get more of that rotation. So that rotation here is what's helping us open up through the chest, helping you take in that deeper breath versus opening through the elbows. We're not getting that same benefit. Good, so breathing in as you pull the hands apart here, breathing out to bring the hands back in. Excellent. Well done, everybody. And again, pain is not the goal. Please don't feel like you're straining yourself. Yes, you want to work hard, but you don't want anything to be straining or hurting. That's really not good. All right. So now when you stretch your leg out, you're going to point your toes, right? Pedal to the metal on the gas. Bring that foot back down. Switch, point those toes out in front of you. Should be getting a little bit of a stretch down the front of your shin. Okay, so point those toes far away from you. And now with the hands, I'm going to get you to reach across and then open with the other arm. Cross, open, cross, open. Now that can be a little bit challenging. Each arm has a different task. And while each arm has a different task, you're also doing your best to move your feet. And you're also working hard to keep to your breathing pattern. So many things to think about today. Because in class, we work on our physical, but we also work on the mental. So you're getting a little bit of everything today. Good. And let's switch what our arms are doing. So now the other arm reaches across, the other arm opens up. So across and open, across, open, across, oops, open. See, mistakes are okay. We all have what I call brain hiccups.
Better than the other expression.
That's right. So maintain that breathing pattern, everybody. Excellent. And rest. Brilliant. Well done. You might need to roll your shoulders back a couple times. Get those warmed up. See how crinkly you feel and sound today. That's going to give you a good indication of how much upper body exercise we'll do. All right. Take your palms straight up in front of you. Push them away from you and bring them back in. And then one arm goes out, one arm comes in. So it's push out, back, one arm side, back in. Both arms out, back, one arm side, back in. Both arms out, back, one arm side, back in. So notice I'm alternating which arm stretches out to the side. Good. So push out and then side. Push out, side. Push out, side. Push out, side. There we go. Now, if you feel like you've got a good handle on this, you're ready for an additional challenge. And if you're not, that's okay. Keep doing this. But the additional challenge is to now start lifting up one foot at a time. So can you lift up either one knee at a time, or you can simplify it a little bit and just go back to lifting and lowering your heels. So again, it's all about finding that doable but challenging balance there, while also maintaining your breathing pattern.
Hello.
Hello.
I could not find the email.
Well, I'm sure glad you did. Welcome. Remember to start up a little bit slower, get yourself warmed up, get into your breathing pattern of breathing out through pursed lips. Good, and rest there. Very well done today, gang. Now, we're going to go back into what's called a steady state. And the challenge today is 2 whole minutes of movement. Goal number 1 is to just try to keep moving, whatever that looks like to you, for the 2 minutes. And then we're going to have a rest. Goal number 2 is to try to work a little bit harder for those 2 minutes. So if you feel like I could walk for 2 minutes, that's great. Then you're going to try to maintain a certain pace. Okay. And we're just going to do that by marching. So again, if lifting up a full leg is too challenging, whether from a physical muscle standpoint or from a breathing standpoint, you can lift just your heel. Remember, the more limbs that are moving at a time, the harder it is. So if you need to move just your arms or just your legs or switch back and forth, that is more than okay. If you need to increase the challenge, get a little more range, go a little bit faster. There's different ways you can increase the challenge. Good. So again, maintain your breathing pattern. We're almost at a minute mark, so I tried to talk for as long as I could. Make the time go by fast. Good. So you're trying to maintain a movement here. So do what you can. We're past a minute, and I'm asking you just to do your best to try to do 1 more minute. Whatever that looks like to you, should be challenging but doable. You're in charge of how fast or slow you go based on what you need. You're in charge of how many limbs you move, what your range of motion is. We've got 30 seconds left. Going to bring your attention back to your breathing. So you're still trying to breathe out through pursed lips, even if it's a bit of a shorter breath now. Brilliant, everybody. We've got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Wow, there we go. There we go, team. So I want you to have a quick check-in with how did you feel that went? Did you feel like that was super, super challenging and maybe you pushed a bit too hard? Because you don't want anyone feeling dizzy or lightheaded or shaky. Those are all signs that it was a bit too intense. Okay. Remember that recovery position, hands or forearms over your thighs, so we can open up those airways. Just make sure the chest is up. Good. And if you felt like that was much too easy, then I'd really encourage you to challenge yourself a bit more on the next time we do a steady state. And that's an easy one to practice at home too. That endurance piece is super important. Okay. Now we're going to do 3 shorter work intervals where we're going to work for 30 seconds and we're going to rest for 30 seconds. And in those 30 seconds, I want you to push yourself to where you challenge your breathing. So I don't want anybody gasping for air. I don't want you feeling like you cannot take a full breath in. but I do want you breathing harder and I want your heart beating faster. Has everyone got that?
Yeah.
A bit of
Can
that
I just
balance.
ask? Can I just
Yes.
ask you some? Is it okay to do some of these exercises standing rather than sitting?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Yep, be
Good.
safe. I always encourage everybody. Just make sure all I ask is that you have something within arm's reach, just for balance, just in case. And other than that, absolutely. That's part of challenging yourself. If you feel like you can do more, absolutely stand on up. I usually give more standing options, but class number 2 after a long summer. But go for it. You betcha.
I find that gets sore on my rear sitting all the time. So,
No problem.
okay, good, thanks.
No problem. Okay, gang, what we're going to be doing next is you're going to tap your heel out in front of you and try to touch your knee. So you extend and touch, extend and touch. And if you are choosing to stand, what that looks like is actually trying to lift your leg up slightly. Okay, so you lift the leg and touch across. Ready? So remember 30 seconds here. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, go. So extend the leg and touch across. Remember, I don't want you bending forward. Stay upright. Make your limbs do all the work, not your back. And the goal here is to get your heart rate up. Get your breathing, get yourself breathing harder. But still do your best to breathe out through pursed lips. Good. 3, 2, 1. And rest. So now we've got 30 seconds here. If you need just a little bit of movement to help you regain your breath, great. Some of you are going to need to just go into that recovery position and only focus on your breathing. Again, choose what is best for you and your body today. Sometimes that changes day to day, and that's okay. Good. Okay, we've got a couple seconds left of rest. Your next movement is we're going to tap our leg out to the side and reach our opposite arm up. So it looks like this.
The bike's in my way.
If you want to move both arms at the same time to make it more challenging, go for it. And we're starting in 3, 2, 1, go. So tap your foot out to the side, lift one or both arms. You are in charge of the intensity you set for yourself. Try to get your breathing up a little bit, breathing a bit harder. Good work. Woo! Well done, everybody. 3, 2, and 1. Rest. Good. So again, if you need a little bit of light movement to help you catch your breath, excellent. Maybe you just need the recovery position. And I'll remind you, we got one last interval left. Okay. In this last interval, what's going to happen is this time you're going to be pulling a foot back. So start with your feet a little bit ahead of you. Unless you're standing, just wait one moment. You're seated, feet a little bit in front of you, and you're pulling one foot back towards your chair at a time. And you're going to be pulling your arms back and forward. So think about pulling your elbows back, pulling your elbows back. If you're standing up, what that could look like is pulling your heel towards your bum and pulling your elbows back behind you. Okay? We're starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So pull those elbows back and pull one foot back towards your chair at a time. Maintain your breathing pattern. And remember the goal here, get yourself breathing harder if you can. Good. It's helpful if you think about pretending to pull something heavy towards you, versus just moving your arms. Pretend you're pulling, pull, pull. That's going to have more muscle activation. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Well done, everybody. So again, some of you, you'll want a little bit of movement. This will help you, whether it's lifting, lowering the heels, just casually moving the arms. Some of you need to be right in that recovery position. Just focus on your breathing. Everybody should be exhaling through pursed lips. Now is also a great time for a sip of water. There we go. Good. How's everybody feeling so far?
Good.
Excellent.
Jill, did I at the beginning when everyone asked you how your summer was?
Oh, yeah, I had a great summer. Thanks for asking.
Good.
Yeah, everyone, most people learned that I started coaching a whole lot earlier than expected because I took on a higher level team, and that's been super fun so far.
Good.
But I did get some camping in, so I'm happy.
Good.
Yeah,
Was the smoke bad where you were?
brutal. Yeah, absolutely awful. Got evacuated for about a week, but everything's good, so that's all said and done.
Great.
Yeah, but yeah, the smoke was bad.
So how did the practices go then with the smoke and the practices?
Oh yeah, no, we had to cancel for a week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was you know, people weren't even supposed to be outside at all. It was so bad. You're just breathing in ash.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, but it's all good. We worked it out. All
You're
right, so now, yeah. That's
Except
right.
for the insurance companies.
Well, that's okay. That's what they're there for. It's good. All right, so now we're gonna get into some strength work. I know some of you were a little disappointed we didn't do any sit to stands on Tuesday, so today's your lucky day. Now, quick reminder, if you are not going to be standing up and down for all of them, if it's just some of them or none of them, what you're going to do instead is while seated, you're going to think about pushing your feet into the ground. You should feel those leg muscles tighten up, and it's as if you're about to stand up, and then you relax. Okay, and you should still be getting a good workout there. Otherwise, I want you, without using your hands, to push off, right? Try to keep them in front of you on your hips, cross. You're going to push through your feet to stand up as you breathe out. And then slow, controlled on the way back. If you've got sore knees, really think about sticking your butt out behind you. Okay, and that will help take some pressure off the knees. We're going to do 10 together. Ready? Let's go. Up you go. And a good way to add a challenge to this is just by adding weight. So if you would like to hold 1 or 2 weights to make this more challenging, awesome, you go for it. The best part about this class is the chance for everybody, no matter their level, to get an equally good workout in and listening to their bodies at the same time. Good, so down with control, try not to plop, especially those last couple inches to your seat. Good. Pardon?
Is anyone counting?
I think that was 5.
Nope. This is 7 from what I started at. And if you're way ahead of me, you're going too fast. So we've got 2 more. And last one. Good. And relax there.
Yay.
Woo! Well done, everybody. So again, some of you may need to keep moving. You can march if you'd like. Some of you need to go just into your recovery position. So I'll give you a couple seconds between each exercise. The next exercise we're going to do involves a stretchy band. And if you do not have a stretchy band, you're going to do this similar movement with a weight, and I'm going to show you how. So with a band, you're going to hold it in both hands in front of you, straight arms, and you're going to pull one arm back, and then bring your hand back forward, and now you're going to pull your other hand back. So think about a bow and arrow. One hand's holding the bow, the other pulls the bowstring back, and bring it back. Now, if you do not have a stretchy band, you can use just your weight, water bottle, whatever that looks like, but you're going to bend forward with your chest up, not rounded. And you're going to pull one arm up and down, and you can either do all on one side and switch halfway, or you can alternate. Okay, so that's the option with the weight.
I like that.
Got the band, let's pull. Pull, and I'll tell you when the halfway point is. Good, so pull back. If you feel like this is way too easy, you do have the option of doubling up your band. That means folding it in half. It's gonna make it way harder, so make sure you're not straining as you do this. One arm pulls back, one arm stays straight ahead. Good, maintain your breathing. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Well done. Now, I didn't say halfway for those of you lifting the weight. So if you stayed on one hand the whole time, just remember which hand you need to work. And our second run through all of these, you'll use your other arm. Okay? Brilliant. So now what I'm going to ask you to do is with your weight, so you can put if you got your stretch band, you can put it to the side. Everybody needs a weight in their hands. Good, and you can do this standing or seated. And all I'm gonna ask from you is we're just gonna do it's called a bicep curl. If you wanna work both arms at the same time, you can. But I do want you challenging your balance a little bit as well. So one hand kind of pulls you to one side. So palm faces your thigh. I'll turn a little bit here. You're going to turn your hands to your palm faces forward. You're going to curl that weight up. And then we're going to slowly lower it. We're going to lower 2, 3, and the palm turns to now face our thigh. So palm turns to face forward, lift, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Make sure that hand turns up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, 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 last one, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Now switch hands and turn your palm forwards and up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, 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 last one, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Good. So rest. Great time to catch a sip of water. You're going to put your weight to the side. We've done 3 exercises, and we're going to repeat all 3.
On that last one, what was the purpose of turning the hand when you come down?
Yeah, so that rotation at your palm
Yes,
makes sure you get the full range of motion of the whole, not just your bicep muscle, but
right.
also there's 2 other muscles
Oh,
that connect. So we call
Uh-huh.
them rather than saying just your biceps, because that's not
Right.
entirely true, we say the elbow flexors. So the
Oh,
muscles
okay.
responsible for flexing your elbow, 2 of them attach, attach across, and they're
Yeah.
responsible for helping you rotate. So
And
when
then
we add that
ones,
rotation, you get full range of those muscles.
and those muscles are they the ones that get hurt in tennis elbow?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
they tend to be, usually it's tightness at your your brachioradialis, which is one of those, again, it attaches down at the forearm and helps
Yeah.
you flex. That tightness there can impede tennis elbow
Right.
or golfer's elbow. Golfer's is the flexion tendon is overworked, and tennis elbow is your extensor tendon
Oh, great. Great
is
information.
overworked.
Thank you.
Yeah, you betcha.
Does that apply to pickle elbow?
Oh yeah. Yep. From pickleball, you mean? It's that repetitive straightening motion. I can show you another exercise to help strengthen those, but usually some tightness in that brachioradialis does contribute as well. So, do you remember what the first exercise was that we did that was strength-based?
Sit to stand.
Sit to stands. Let's give it a go. So again, try not to use your hands to help you. You're getting ready to push down through your feet and breathe out. Breathing out is going to help stiffen up your spine. So breathing out. So you stand up with strength, and we're sitting down slowly and in control. Remember, try your best not to let yourself plop at the end there. And even if you do plop, if you're trying hard not to, that's going to help improve the strength in that motion. But if you just let yourself plop, you're not necessarily going to be building the same amount of strength. Remember, the intention, the purpose that we do our exercises with really helps the outcome. So down, nice and slow. Slowly push up.
We starting?
Oh, yep, we're starting. Sorry. Good. Don't worry, we'll do at least 5 more. Good job, everybody. So press through your feet. Push, 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 push. Remember, if you got sore knees, sticking your bum out behind you as you go to sit down, and leaning forward as you go to sit up so your bum sticks out behind you. Still the same outcome. Does help take pressure off your knees. And we're doing a couple extra, if you can, just for fun. Mostly to make up for the fact that I didn't say start. Sorry about that. And rest. Good. So again, big effort. Some of you may need to focus on your breathing pattern, get into your recovery position. Some of you may need to do a little bit of movement to best help you. And the next exercise uses your stretchy band. And remember, if you do not have a stretchy band, then we're just bent forward, chest up, so kind of in that recovery position, and you're pulling a weight up. Okay, but you can alternate. If you worked just the one arm before, work your other arm now. Otherwise, if you do have a stretchy band, we're going to hold the band out in front of our chests, and one arm's pulling back, the other stays forward, and we're switching. Good, so one arm pulls back, the other stays straight ahead. Job, team. Pull one hand back, the other stays forward. Helpful to breathe out as you pull that one arm back. Excellent job. Well done, everybody. A couple more pulls if you can. Remember, the starting point is both arms out in front of you. You control that arm coming back forwards with control. That's going to build up more strength. And rest. Whew. Hope you all are having as much fun as I am. All right, grab your weight, water bottle. All right, so we're gonna hold that weight by your side and really slowly, again, turn that palm to face forward, pull that weight up by bending or flexing your elbow, and lower it down slowly and turn that palm to face your thigh again. Just want that rotation, flex, then slowly extend back down and rotate again. Good, so it's up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Hopefully everyone has started. Up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, 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 2 more, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, and up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Switch. Ready? Turn that palm forward and up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, 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 up, and exhale, 2, 3, down, and inhale, 2, 3, up, and exhale, 2, 3, down, and inhale, 2, 3, last one, up and exhale, 2, 3, down and inhale, 2, 3. Well done, team. Excellent. I can put your weight to the side. Now, I did promise to show something for tennis elbow. Now, to be clear, if you are currently dealing with tennis elbow, strongly encourage you to go see somebody in person, physiotherapist, fantastic. But if it's something you have just struggled with in the past and it's not currently flared up, here is something that can help strengthen that. So you're just going to take your stretchy band. This is a good exercise for everybody anyway. So you're going to just throw the band over your shoulder, just like you might a dish towel when you're drying dishes. Now, typically, and you might have done this exercise where we cross our body, cross our arm across our body and push straight down. And that's a good exercise. In tennis elbow, it's the repetitive straightening. So often what we call the eccentric phase, and usually that's the slow returning to a start position, is best helpful for strengthening tendons. So how we're going to accomplish that, rather than doing the concentric, eccentric, and we want just the eccentric phase, this is what's going to happen. You're going to take the band, so I'm holding it, and I'm going to, with my top arm, pull the band down so that I've straightened my arm with no tension. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
And now my top arm is going to, we're going to get a little bicep curl in there. It's going to pull the band up. So now there's tension. I'm going to slowly bring my hand back up. And then once again, my top arm moves to straighten my arm, but there's no tension on the straightening. And then my top arm bends up and I slowly bring it back up. Any questions on that? We're going to do 10.
That's kind of like reversing the action of the actual motion of hitting the ball. Like
Yes. Yeah. So what it is we're stronger eccentrically than we are concentrically. And a good way to think of this is, have you ever been taking a box off a top shelf and it's really heavy and you have to struggle to slowly lower it back down?
Yep.
And you manage to do it, but then later you go to put it back up and you're going, there's no way I can lift this up. But you manage to slowly lower it down.
Right.
That's your eccentric action. We're stronger eccentrically. We're able to do things because it's about resisting a load rather than trying to move the load.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so we use that with strengthening a tendon. If moving the load is the action that hurts, then we strengthen by resisting the load, and it's usually a non-painful movement. So it's a way of building strength there without aggravating the movement. Now, if this eccentric piece is really not your thing, you're not liking it, feel free to just do concentric eccentric. That's just the full tricep press. Okay. I was just trying to provide that option for those of you that have struggled with tennis elbow in the past. And we've long passed the numbers. You're more than welcome to switch arms. So again, it's your choice. If you have struggled with tennis elbow and you wanted to try just this eccentric one, you go for it. If you're going, that's confusing, or I don't like that, then just push down, slowly bring your arm back up. Still very good.
So it's not the same.
Yeah, so it's just your choice whether you want to push down and slowly bring your arm up, or if you want to do the slide down so your arm straightens without tension, and then you add tension and slowly resist it. Okay, so just your choice. We're all about providing different options for you guys. How can I best help many of you as I can?
That's why you're such a trooper, girl.
Well, thank you. And rest there. Good work, team. That was awesome. So you can put that to the side. Now, the last thing for those of you with bad shoulders that tend to get sore, I've got a task for you. You're going to clasp your hands in front of you. And actually, if you've got really tight shoulders, you're better off doing this with your weight. Okay, so if you know I've got tight shoulders or you've got a sore shoulder, please grab your weight, one hand on either side. The movement's going to be the same. All we're doing is working to try to press our elbows together.
Wow.
Pause, and then relax. Now, because of this movement, arms are in front of you, it can feel like it's squeezing your chest, compressing your rib cage. Holding the weight does help with that, but also breathing out as you do this movement is super important. So breathing out as you pull the elbows together, and then breathing in to reset. So breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. And if you're holding the weight, it's the same thing, just your elbows aren't going to go very far. Hold them in. If anyone can touch their elbows while holding a weight, I'm going to send you money. That is so impressive. So breathe out.
Hey there, I did it.
I did it.
I give him my address.
Oh my goodness, that's insane. Well done. There's just no way. Well, yeah, at the very least, you get some big pride points. Being more flexible than me today. Well done.
I can do it.
I am so impressed. Amazing. So great. Wait, are you coming up? That's so
I'm
good.
not, there's no way.
Well, yeah, that's how I'm feeling, Rick. I'm going, oh, come on, come on, come on. All right, rest there. Rest there, team. Wow. Well done. That was a great one. Based on how successful so many of you were. Brilliant. All right, it is time to stretch. Best part of the class. And a quick reminder, that is a perfect time to ask any question at all. It is the time to connect as a group as much as we can. So please feel free to chat. Okay, and if you've got any questions at all, I'm super happy to answer them. We're just gonna sorry about that, team. I received a phone call and interrupted with my headphones. And switch arms. So did anyone ask a question? Was my sound cut off?
Nope.
No? Would anyone like to ask a question?
I can't do this part. It doesn't
The
go
only
up.
problem with that exercise that you call like the bow,
Yeah.
pulling the stretch band forward, when snap mine in half, that kind of hurt.
Yours broke, Barry?
Yeah, I guess
Oh no!
I guess I'm too strong now.
Oh, oh no. Now you're gonna pull your arm across your body. And if it never is sore, just bend.
Either that or you left your band out in the sun.
Oh, no.
Well, they have different weights, right? Different strengths.
They do. And what's key to remember is you want to look, especially if you're using a band regularly. If you don't leave it out in the sun, that's absolutely true. Leave it in a cool, dark place. But every 1 to 2 years, replace it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I
Switch
should
arms because rubber does degrade.
Yeah.
And I haven't mentioned 2 classes, and I haven't mentioned this in my pre-class safety talk. A good way to check, guys, is if you just lightly pull the band and you look for any faded strips. So if you kind of gently pull the band and you see this really faded strip, that's a point of weakness in the rubber. So you just look for those areas. You look for any little holes. Sometimes you'll stretch it and this little hole will appear. That's a point where it can easily break. Stretch a leg out in front of you, reach towards your toes.
Yeah, and I keep it in a Ziploc bag.
Nice. There you go.
Also, sometimes if you buy the better quality ones, they last a little longer.
That is true. Yep. There is better quality bands. But if you're looking to replace it regularly, just keep a good eye on it. You'll limit the instances of a band snapping on you, because I also know that's not fun. And switch legs. I think there's even, it was either during one of these classes, so it's recorded somewhere, which is hilarious, or it was my other afternoon class, but I had a band break on me during class. And I've also had a chair break on me.
Were you doing the sit to stand?
No, we were doing a stretch.
Oh.
And the stretch, and that's the funny part, is because it wasn't even much pressure at all. It was just the stretch where you put your hands on the chair and you gently rock your hips back. So there's not even much pressure, but the chair just gave out, just crumpled.
Ooh,
I like that exercise.
That's a very nice stretch to do. Now you can either straighten out your leg and prop your leg up onto your shin, or pull it up higher onto your knee for a stretch here. I just like to support the knee, so I'm getting more of the stretch through the outside of my hip.
I never thought of that because I usually press down to stretch more, but you can stretch up as well. Because I always usually push it down. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Forward.
I prefer the pushing up and leaning forward. It stretches that piriformis muscle, which is kind of right in your glute. When it's really tight, usually that being tight causes a lot of lower back soreness. That piriformis grips onto your sciatic nerve. So when it's really tight, sometimes just causes some uncomfortable issues. And pushing down tends to put more strain through the knee. Because you can often stretch that same muscle group with our neck stretch, that hip flexor stretch. So I don't feel the need to do it as much. Switch legs, by the way.
Good
So
idea.
I very much prefer to pull the knee up slightly to make sure it's not getting that torque on it, and then just lean forward, and you'll feel that right up your glute and side of your hip.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the leaning forward that makes it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. You'll see, you might have seen some runners do that. They do it laying down.
It's actually an inverted pigeon from yoga pose.
There you go. Yep. Yep, pigeon's another word for it. That stretch. Relax that leg. You're going to drop the leg back behind you or turn sideways in your seat to accomplish the same thing. Whatever works. So again, you're looking to have that bit of a stretch down the front of your hip. Might even go all the way down to your knee. Good work, everybody.
That ball on the back of my heel really hurts. Back of my thigh.
The back of your heel?
No, no, no. I have a little bulge on the back of my thigh. A little ball on both sides.
At the back of your knee?
Or back here, up here. In the back of my what is it? My quad, my hamstring. My hamstring.
Oh, switch.
Yeah. I might have tore it one day.
Oh no.
I'm not really sure. One ultrasound said it was torn, another one said it wasn't, so I don't know.
How confusing.
Like
All
when
you
you
know is it hurts.
Yeah, that's not fun. So what you can do there, right, the further your leg is back, the more it's gonna, that hamstring is gonna feel that crampy. So you can pull that knee underneath you and then focus on trying to tuck your tailbone forward. So think about tilting your hips.
sounds good. Sounds good.
And so you should still get a bit of that stretch without as much aggravation on that hamstring. So rest there, gang. It's just time for a deep breath, however you would like to do that. I'm going to count for inhale 4 seconds, out for 5 seconds if you can. Hands belly, open them up, hold them up, whatever you want to do. We're just breathing in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once more in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shake it out. Amazing. Great job, everybody. Woohoo!
Very. Thanks, Jill.
Oh, you're
And
so
Maureen.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.
Mary.
Question now.
Yeah.
On breathing, it's me.